Viewers, about time, exactly 1 month ago in Karoli, we saw violence of a similar nature, communal violence, if you all remember that. And in that too, we saw, in fact, on Hindu New Year, the procession being attacked, rioters ruling the Roost, running absolutely wild through the streets. You can see those pictures. That was Karoli, April 2022, just about 3 or 4 weeks ago. The accused, the principal accused, who is a Congress ally, is still free in Karoli. His name is Matloob. And you know, viewers, we have been bringing you stories periodically about this individual. Can you believe it? Almost a month, and this principal accused, who is on camera directing the riots, who is booked, named in an FIR, is still free. Viewers, that arc of violence has been spreading. There was the instance of a red carpet being rolled out for an accused in the 2021 Chhabra riots by the Chief Minister himself, yes, Mr. Gehlot, at his residence, even as the victims await compensation and justice. And now, yesterday, 11:30 or so at night, the Gehlot government once again found itself in a state of advanced paralysis as yet another communal situation developed, this time in Jodhpur. Times Now has been incessantly reporting from the ground, speaking to all stakeholders, trying to string together the truth that has been told in conflicting versions. Viewers, what can I tell you? What can I tell you except for the fact that once again rioters were given a free run? A flag that was hoisted at the center of town turned into a flashpoint. Everyone knew that this would happen. It was all brewing. It was visible. The police, viewers, was nowhere around. Last night, and let's go back to those pictures from last night, where the flag became a topic, viewers, of discord. Let's go back to last night. Shashi, Nizam Bhai, let's pull out those pictures from last night and let me show the viewers the picture. Now, what is being alleged, viewers? It is being alleged that a dispute around that flag that was flown at a spot where a freedom fighter statue has been erected was seen as an insult. As you know, viewers, freedom fighters fought for independence for India, not for one particular community. So it's quite obvious that when a flag by one particular community is hoisted at a place where generally the public, the town, pays respects to a freedom fighter who fought for freedom for all of us, it was going to be problematic. And so it was, viewers. Members of another community started pulling that flag down. And that's when you had clashes. Police was beaten black and blue because they were, as usual, in small numbers. And viewers, it took a while before the situation was brought into some sort of control. A curfew then was imposed. Journalists found it difficult to go from one end of town to the other. But viewers, not rioters. Because the next morning, within 11 hours, right after the prayers, we saw another set of visuals of rioters running through the streets, all once again triggered by another act, this time by the state administration, of replacing one flag with another, a saffron flag with a tricolor. So the Islamic flag was replaced by a saffron flag, which was replaced by the tricolor. And once again, viewers, there was large-scale mayhem, and the police found themselves overwhelmed, looking the other way. Viewers, as I've been telling you, the people on the ground this morning were not expecting the resurgence of rioting. They weren't expecting, under a state administration that had imposed curfew, to see people running through their lanes, knocking on their doors, beating down their doors, pulling them out and thrashing them. They weren't expecting all of this, and they're recounting their horror to us, our ground reporters. Let me play it out for you.
वही चौराहा है जहां से इस हिंसा की शुरुआत हुई थी। तस्वीरें आप देख सकते हैं किस तरीके से यहां पर फिलहाल जो है पुलिस बल जो है वो पूरी तरीके से मौजूद है। सुरक्षा के चाक चौबंद इंतजाम किए गए हैं और तमाम यहां पर आप देख सकते हैं किस तरीके से पुलिसकर्मी जो है वो मुस्तैद हैं। और निश्चित तौर पर जिस तरीके से ये हिंसा हुई उसके बाद से ही हालात पूर्ण तरीके से बनाने के लिए ही यहाँ पे धारा 144 यानी जो करीब 10 थाने ऐसे हैं जहां पर एक तरीके से कहा जा सकता है कि कर्फ्यू लगा दिया गया है ताकि लोग अपने घरों से न निकले और शांति व्यवस्था कायम रहे। लगातार जिला प्रशासन की तरफ से लोगों से अपील किया जा रहा है। इंटरनेट सेवा जो है वो फिलहाल बंद है और इसी वजह से इस चौराहे की तस्वीरें आप देख सकते हैं किस तरीके से जहां तक आपकी नजरें जाएंगी वहां तक आपको पुलिसकर्मी दिखेंगे। दरअसल ये वही चौराहा है जहां से हिंसा की शुरुआत हुई थी।
हम लोग तो अंदर थे, चाय पी रहे थे ब्रेकफास्ट वाली, और उतने में एकदम से शोर आया। बोले शोर काहे का है, बाहर जाके देखते हैं। देखा जितने तो धमाधम आवाजें आ रही थी। छोटे बच्चे और ज्यादा बड़े लोग नहीं थे, बच्चे टाइप ही थे सब, 20 साल से 15 से 20 के। गाड़ी पे एक मारी, वो तो हमको दिखाई नहीं दी, आवाज जरूर आई थी मेरी गाड़ी पे, इनकी बाइक पे। तो हमने आके देखा कि और जोर से मारी, ये चिल्लाए जोर से, क्या हो रहा है ये। जितने में ये इधर इलेक्ट्रिक की दुकान है हमारे, इस पे मारी उन्होंने। तो मैंने कहा ज्यादा बदतमीजी कर रहे हो तुम लोग, क्या बात है। आगे निकल के इनकी गाड़ी पे मारा, उनकी गाड़ी पे मारा।
एक चीज बताओ, 15 से 20 साल के बच्चे इतना उदंगड़ कर सकते हैं क्या? और नमाज पढ़ के आते वक्त वो क्यों आए? उनके हाथ में सामान कहाँ से आए? नमाज पढ़ने गए थे, सुबह गए। हम लोग यहीं रहते हैं 60 साल से, कभी एक दूसरे से हमने झगड़ा नहीं किया। वो बच्चे कैसे आए? इस जैसे इतने बच्चे छोटे हैं, उनके पास ये सामान कहाँ से आया? किसी ने तो प्रोवाइड कराया होगा, या उसी ने तो किसी ने तो उसको गाइड किया होगा। हमारे बच्चों का क्या लेना देना, इस बाइक से क्या दुश्मनी है? सिर्फ दहशत फैलाने के लिए।
पुलिस उस वक्त नहीं थी, वो इमीडिएट वो फिर फोन किया गया उनको, फिर वो आए 5-10 मिनट बाद आए। लेकिन वो जितने में उनकी जो ग्रुप बना हुआ था वो सब वहाँ से निकल गया, पूरा मोहल्ला से होके वो सब निकल गए वहाँ से। शायद कोई उनका हेड था, उनको इन्फॉर्मेशन मिल गई कि यहाँ से निकलो फटाफट, शायद पुलिस आ रही है, और जितने में वो सब भाग गए वहाँ से।
अच्छा, कोई हेड था, उनको निर्देश
कोई निर्देश दे रहा था आगे से, किसी ने कहा चलो 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 फटाफट निकलो यहाँ से, अब सही नहीं है।
Viewers, such was the fury that the rioters forgot who they were targeting. A young girl, a little girl traumatized, wasn't spared. Listen to this.
जोधपुर के कबूतर चौक पर जब आज सुबह हिंसा भड़की तो कई दुकानों को उपद्रवियों ने अपना निशाना बनाया। एक दुकान ऐसा था जहां पर एक पिता जो है अपनी बेटी के साथ मौजूद थे। उसी वक्त उपद्रवी आते हैं और दुकान पर हमला करते हैं। आपसे समझना चाहेंगे कितने बजे के आसपास का इंसिडेंट था?
10:30 बजे के बाद में शुरू हुआ है, ऐसे 11 लगभग अंदाज। अंदर से पूरमल्ला के आगे मियाँ के पास है, वहाँ से सब एक साथ आवाज़ आई थी, ओ चलो चलो, हाका वो हुआ। मैं देखने लगा तो फिर एक साथ में टोली शुरू हो गई आना। टोली आई, आके तोड़ मार शुरू कर दिया। इधर कोटी है, बटे से तोड़ने लगे, बोर्ड तोड़ने लगे, सामान दुकानों के फेंकने लगा। गुड़िया मेरी बाहर खड़ी थी, इसके अंदर डर गई हो, डर के फिर मैंने अंदर डाला इसको, फिर बाहर निकाला। बाहर निकालने के बाद लिखा, फिर लाठीचार्ज होने लगा। इसी कारण भैया कोई थे वो खड़े और उनके जोरदार पीठ पे ऊपर लाठी से वार किया।
मेरा माननीय श्री मुख्यमंत्री जी से अनुरोध है कि इस एटमॉस्फेयर को जल्दी से जल्दी सही करें, क्योंकि जोधपुर के लिए ये बड़ा काला धब्बा है।
हम यहीं खड़े थे, ये पीछे से आए थे सारे के सारे दंगाई। इनके हाथ में लठ, कुछ पत्थर, किसी के हाथ में तलवारें, और वहाँ से आए थे और यहाँ इन्होंने तोड़ भांग स्टार्ट कर दी थी, यानी सारी जगह। इस दुकान पे बच्ची और उनके पिताजी थे, तो मैं वहाँ से सामने से आया जब ये इनको मार रहे थे, इनके ऊपर हमला कर रहे, बच्चे पर हमला करने वाले ही थे। तब मैंने वहाँ बीच में आके उसको पहले यहाँ से लेके इस घर में डाला, फिर उन्होंने मेरे पीठ पे और कंधे पे चोट दी थी।
Viewers, there is a problem. There is a serious problem, and it needs to be addressed. The Chief Minister, aside from making platitudinous statements, has not told us why there are omissions as glaring as we have seen. What is the main omission? The main omission is even after you impose curfew, when there is supposed to be no movement, there are people running through the streets. Look at them with swords, targeting neighborhoods. How does this happen? Under an administration that is supposed to be policing a curfew. Not a fly should be moving. People should be mortified. Viewers, what is the compulsion? Is there a compulsion? Let's have a look. In Karoli, Congress-linked corporator is being accused of rioting 1 month since riots. Matloob is still on the run. The kin allege a political figure ensured his escape. Yes, that is what is being alleged, viewers. Now, these are hard facts. The first two are hard facts. The third is an allegation. The fact is, Matloob has not been arrested. What is the compulsion? Why this selective action? Crackdowns on certain communities, not in another. Is there a compulsion? These are questions. In Chhabra, riots took place in 2021. Victims are still awaiting compensation and justice. The riot accused, however, were invited to an Iftar party hosted by the Chief Minister himself. And those pictures are also available with us of, viewers, this Iftar party. Now, these are the hard facts once again, and I always tell you the hard facts on this show, viewers. Why? So that you can get closer to the truth. Bharatpur, Dalit family alleges that it was targeted by Muslim hooligans. They charge that the police is under pressure from a Congress minister not to deliver them justice. And when we did this story in Bharatpur, the response was apathetic, viewers. They were not being taken seriously. In fact, it was alleged that they brought this upon themselves. Again, viewers, selectivity. Now, I want to open this up. I want to open this up and I want to ask some basic questions. First, I'm going to begin with the Congress spokesperson. And let me go to you. And let me ask you, sir, Karoli, the same sin of omission. You go out there in Chhabra, the individuals who were rioters are being given an Iftar party. Here, 12 hours after curfew is imposed, people are running riot through the streets. So I'm asking you, sir, Mr. Jindal, what is happening?
In fact, while you were showing those visuals, one of the person, he rightly stated that this has never happened in the last 60 years. Why is it happening now? And that exactly is the point. Why is all this mayhem happening right now? Why is it Khargon, Hubali, Karoli, now Jodhpur, Jahangirpur? Why is the entire India burning? It is burning because that entire social fabric of Hindu-Muslim unity is being destroyed by the government at the center. The policy of the government at the center is creating a new idea of India which is unacceptable to a major portion of Indian community, that is the Muslims. You cannot alienate them further. You cannot brand them as terrorists. You cannot simply tag them as antisocial. They are very much the part of society, and it is high time that the center learns this. It is simply trying to create a ground so as to have some form of a report prepared by the Home Ministry, forwarding it to the governor of Rajasthan, and thereby misuse Article 356. But then this is not going to happen. People of India are well aware of the notoriety of the government at the center. And let me tell you, time and again, even Aurangzeb, he could not adhere to radicalism.
Mr. Jindal, can I ask you a small question, sir? I think that what you're saying sounds very much like a rationalization of violence. But I am not going to, for this 1 second, give me 30 seconds, let me finish my question, please. But I am not going to sit in judgment of you. History will do that. But I want to point out one small fact, and I'm going to show you some visuals. There are individuals who are booked by the Gehlot government themselves. They were the accused in another riot that took place in Chhabra. Agreed? Booked by the Gehlot police. Not by Rahul Shivshankar, not by BJP, not by RSS, not by yourself, not by the Congress at large, not by Rahul Gandhi, not by any other so-called Islamophobe, as you suggest. Booked by the government of Rajasthan themselves. Yet, sir, these same accused booked by your government for rioting are at an iftar party thrown by the chief minister. Now, what do you call this, Lokesh Jindal?
Let me tell you one more incident. In fact, you have been always...
I'm just asking you this question. Don't tonight, don't try to change. You made the accusation that certain people are demonizing Muslims. Now, I'm saying, I am going by your law, I am going by your FIRs, I am going by the action you have taken, i.e. the Congress government has taken. You have booked certain Muslim individuals who rioted in Chhabra, yet you invite them for an iftar party. Now, and that too, the chief minister is in that iftar party. Now, what is this called?
See, when I'm talking about booking an individual and convicting them...
Please answer the question. When you invite, when you invite alleged rioters who have tormented a community to an iftar at the chief minister's residence, what is it called?
For assaulting a sanitary inspector who was and who had to resign because of his notoriety, but you give a clean sheet to it.
Viewers,
and what you
let me tell you, viewers, we are not comparing apples to oranges today. We want to compare apples to apples. The Congress party says that Muslims are being demonized. They point towards people like Yati Narsinghanand. Very rightly, they say Narsinghanand should be thrown into jail. He's arrested by the Uttarakhand government for speeches he gave in Haridwar. He comes out on bail because the court grants him bail. Viewers, he subsequently makes yet another speech. He's prosecuted for that. There are others. They say lock them up. Lock these Hindu hardliners up. Yet, viewers, the same party invites riot accused. Their own government has proclaimed them riot accused to an iftar party at the chief minister's residence. And the man on your screens, Lokesh Jindal, a Congress leader, can't bring himself to condemn this. Will you condemn it, yes or no?
See, first of all, let me make one thing very
Will you condemn?
clear. Sir, when we are talking about...
Will you condemn?
All these forms of...
Will you condemn? Do you think accused in a case should be called for an iftar party at the chief minister's residence? Forget about whether they are Muslims or Hindus, I'm asking you. Simple, yes, no.
But have you proved the fact?
I don't have to prove it, it's your police. Your police who has booked them. How am I going to prove it?
Job of the police is to book an
Okay, viewers. So then viewers, let me tell you. Sadhvi Pragya, then look at this Congress party now, viewers. Just look at the hypocrisy. They say Sadhvi Pragya should be thrown into jail. She cannot be an MP, yet she has not been proven guilty. So by that logic, Sadhvi Pragya is innocent. And she should be, in fact, called for all the parties at the Prime Minister's residence. What's the problem? You apply the same logic, but they won't apply the same logic because they're selective, and which takes me back to the question I asked. What is the compulsion behind the selectivity? Anyhow, let me bring in the BJP spokesperson, Shehzad Poonawalla. Charges have been made against the BJP, you are troubling Muslims, making them feel alienated from the mainstream, and their response is what we see on the streets of today in another city like Jodhpur. Respond, Shehzad Poonawalla.
Rahul, first of all, thank you very much, and wishing all your viewers Akshaya Tritiya and on Parshuram Jayanti also, and I wish Lokesh Jindal on the occasion of Eid also. Now, having said that, Rahul, this is not a Sahyog or a Prayog, it is a Socha Samjha Vote Bank ka Udyog and Hindu Nafrat ka Udyog that is taking place right from Karoli. The main accused is still absconding, to Chhabra riots. The main accused gets patronage at an Iftar party in Ashok Gehlot's house. But why also should we forget how Sonia Gandhi and Congress party patronized Sajjan Kumar? How Sonia Gandhi and Congress party have continued to patronize Jagdish Titler? Right now, Mr. Jindal was talking about idea of India is changing. Let me tell you, Mr. Jindal, the 10 biggest riots in this country, Jalgaon, Mumbai, Bhiwandi, Delhi riots, the riots in Ahmedabad, the riots that took place in Delhi, Hashimpura, Bhagalpur, all of these riots took place when the Congress party was in power. And in all of these riots, the main consistent trend that you see is the protection given to rioters, the patronage given to rioters that is happening even today. From Jahangirpuri to Karoli, from Khargone to Khambat, when action is taken on rioters, who's the one who comes in their defense? And Rahul, you are saying that Muslims have been troubled by us and therefore they are resorting to riots, but Digvijay Singh said that Muslims have been given money and therefore they pick up stones. So I want to ask Danish Qureshi on your panel that are Muslims picking up stones because they are bikau? Are they available for anybody to give them money and they start picking up stones? In fact, the Muslims are being tormented and demonized by the Congress party. The Congress has demonized the Muslims the most. But today I have just one final question, Mr. Jindal, before you start getting more aggressive. Please, 1 second, sir. Sir, this is not the way to debate. Now, I want to ask you one question, Mr. Jindal. Sometimes you say the central government is responsible, the government is responsible for everything, Uttar Pradesh government, Gujarat government. But when it comes in your case, then it becomes the person doing it that is responsible. How can you have double standards in both the places? Today, the Greh district, the home district of Ashok Gehlot, today itself the violence took place. If you knew who was behind this violence, how did the violence take place today morning? There were 15 incidents of violence, including violence outside the BJP MLA's house, where a bike was torched, where other stone pelting and other things took place. Why is it that Mr. Ashok Gehlot can't control the situation of increasing rapes?
Lokesh Jindal, respond. The BJP is making charges saying that you're appeasing rioters and that's why they feel emboldened to come out and riot again and again. Yes, Lokesh Jindal.
Please come back the question again, please, sir, for the entire essay altogether.
Mr. Jindal, the question is very simple. You are appeasing rioters, you're finding excuse for their behavior, you are changing the goalposts to justify communalism, you are constructing a false narrative of Islamophobia to serve your political ends. Very quickly a response. I want to bring in Smita Prakash right after.
First of all, positive discrimination is not appeasement. Please get this very clear. When you are talking about positive discrimination, it is very well mentioned in the Constitution itself. Certain sections which are vulnerable, they have to be treated, not like the other segment of the population, and that is what the government had been doing. And
so letting Matlub Ahmed go away is positive discrimination.
1 minute.
So inviting Chhabra riot accusing Iftar party is positive discrimination.
1 minute. Listen, let them finish. Yes, so you're saying this is all positive discrimination. Now, Smita Prakash, 1 second. Let me ask you this question. Do you seriously think that the Chief Minister, Mr. Gehlot, has a quota when he gives out invites? He says, okay, there is positive discrimination here. I must have a quota for criminals, especially from the Muslim community, who I must invite to my Iftar party. And there must also be a quota to let go a certain number of criminals just because their surname happens to put them in the denomination which you want to appease. Is that what it is? There can be peace. Yes, of course there can be peace when there is truth. But if the truth is defined according to political compulsion, there can be no truth, which is essential to affix accountability and justice. Am I wrong or am I right? Smita Prakash.
Yeah, Rahul, I think this appeasement politics that has been going on for so long, I think that is now it's threadbare. It's there for everybody to see, and the hypocrisy of it is something that cannot continue anymore. At least people see through all that. And the second thing is that I don't understand how there were no intelligence inputs as to the fact that all through April, Rajasthan has been on the boil with several incidents of communal clashes which have taken place, and in spite of curfew orders, people were violating it. So how come that there was no extra police presence in sensitive areas? And clearly a chief minister's constituency would be a sensitive area. That having been said, the Marwadi community, it's known for the mutual respect it has for religions and the cooperation and the assimilation of Hindu-Muslim communities in the villages and towns of this Marwad area and Jodhpur area. It's well known for that. And all the Hindu-Muslim fights that have happened historically have been more political in nature and not so much societal. But obviously that has changed. Now today you have a situation where 10 police stations have been brought under the curfew area, which is a very bad signal for the chief minister that his constituency is under such kind of a threat. Now the loudspeaker issue, which has, it's sweeping across the country, Rahul, and for a long time, people have been, taking it for accepting it that iska kuch kar nahi sakte, and you have to just dump it. But that is not something that is acceptable anymore, just like the illegal constructions which were happening, and that's why people were like, chalo, bulldozer chalao. Same way the loudspeaker also was like, enough is enough. Imagine tomorrow, if Jain temples, Buddhist temples, Gurdwaras, they put up as many loudspeakers as mosques have put up or as temples have put up. Can you imagine the cacophony in all that will happen? I'm not justifying.
I'll just say, if positive discrimination, Smita Prakash, is such a big factor as Mr. Jindal so laughably suggests. 1 minute, Mr. Jindal. Can I also speak, sir? I don't interrupt anybody. I haven't interrupted you. I've only interrupted you when I have to ask the question. I'll let you speak, sir, please. Positive discrimination is not a factor when Muslim mobs attack a Dalit family in Bhagalpur. There, the police, under Mr. Gehlot, doesn't think about the Dalit family's interests at all. And what were they beaten up for, black and blue viewers, allegedly? For playing a Hindu song on their weddings. That's right. Beaten up, and there are enough proof of how they were assaulted. Any action taken, case registered? Not till the last we checked. I hope after a reportage, which was 48 hours ago, something has been done. I beg on their behalf, because you see, this is such a giving, positively discriminating government. But no, viewers, that doesn't happen. I now want you to listen to the Congress mindset on these episodes. Listen to what Digvijay Singh said a few days back, and I want to bring in Danesh, Mr. Danesh Qureshi, and I also want to bring in Kuntal Krishna, another Congress member. First, listen to what Digvijay Singh said, viewers.
मैं बोलता हूं तो मुझे केस में लग जाता है, झूठा केस लग गया मेरे पे। बात यह है, कांग्रेस ने अमन चैन शांति के लिए अपील करी कि नहीं करी? दूसरा, मेरे पास ऐसी शिकायतें आ रही, मैंने उसकी जांच नहीं की है, कि कुछ गरीब मुसलमान लड़कों को पैसा देकर खुद ही पत्थर फेंकवाते हैं भाजपा के लोग। फैक्ट है क्या सर ये आपके पास? ये मेरे पास फैक्ट्स नहीं आए हैं, मैं उसको चेक कर रहा हूं, मैं इसलिए आरोप नहीं लगा रहा हूं, लेकिन जो जानकारी आ रही बता रहा हूं आपको, इसको मैं चेकअप करूंगा, उसकी बात करूंगा।
Digvijay Singh goes out with unverified facts, viewers, unverified facts, to suggest that the Hindus are buying out young Muslim youth to throw stones, to provoke riots. Now, Danish Qureshi, what do you make of Digvijay Singh's statement? Do you accept that Muslim youth will take money?
Rahul, I can laugh on Digvijay Singh, not more than that. And my single line question to them is that why did you left them Garib to take the charges to pile the stone? Is it under the Congress regime? Second thing, Shehzad Bhai was telling about the Muslim. Remember one thing, Shehzad Bhai, Muslims are tikau. Tikau समझते हैं ना, durable, not bikau like Bharatiya Janata Party and all. Now the thing is, Muslims are always targeted targeted on the biggest festival of the year in Rajasthan. Why did Rajasthan government didn't provide the security to the people, those who want to peacefully celebrate the festival of Eid? My single line question to congressman. Second thing,
now
should we understand?
Now 1 minute, Danish, 1 minute. I want to get Shehzad Poonawalla to respond to what you were saying about Tikau and Bikau. I just want to say one thing, viewers. This is the MIM taking on the Congress government for letting down the Muslims, reducing them, as he says, to a state of penury that they are forced to accept money, and secondly, not even give them security on Eid. That's what he's saying. This is not some BJP spokesperson speaking. This is the AIMM representative. Shehzad Poonawalla, yes. Respond.
Rahul, the question is not the BJP, but it's the Congress party who has labelled the Muslims of this country as Bikau, that if you give them some money, they will start pelting stones. But the question here is not about Tikau, Bikau. It is about who's doing Dangai Bachao. Why is it that there is an ecosystem of Dangai? Somebody has said positive discrimination. Can you believe it? Now today, the new lexicon for secularism, pseudo-secularism is positive discrimination. That means that tomorrow we should not hang Buranwani because you have to show positive discrimination. Tomorrow
Kuntal
don't
Krishna,
take action on Yaqub Memon because it is
positive discrimination. When you invite rioters from one community to an Iftar, it is positive discrimination. Kuntal Krishna, you are an academic. Can you please respond? Kuntal Krishna now speaks. Okay, 1 second. Let's get Kuntal Krishna in. Positive discrimination, says your colleague from the Congress party. That's the reason why the Chief Minister invited rioters to his Iftar.
Rahul, it is not a standalone or once in a year incident now, what we are discussing.
So respond to
Communal
the question.
clashes, right-like situation is becoming very regular line. Yeah, I'm responding,
when?
Rahul, responding.
When, sir?
You have to understand the dynamics behind
1990,
it is
1993, 1991.
No, it is part of a bigger conspiracy, Rahul. It is a part of bigger conspiracy to bring down secular tolerance level of this country and to scale up fanatic fundamentalism in this country. It is a part of that conspiracy, bigger conspiracy, and it is spearheaded by RSS and its allies. And it is and the issue is danga karao,
so if you take action against Matloob, country will become intolerant.
It is a very simple issue.
If you take action against Matloob Ahmed for riots in Karoli, country will become intolerant. And what was Matloob Ahmed, poster boy of Aman and Shanti? नहीं, गोली चलाने वाला अमन शांति का पोस्टर बॉय है. Action on Matloob Ahmed will lead to intolerance.
Rahul, there is
Look
a
at this one thing, positive discrimination. Other is saying intolerance, right?
Like
if you take hold of Tahir Hussain and Matloob Ahmed.
Viewers, I need to take
Mr. Poonawalla,
1 minute. I need to step in here.